For clients that have kids that are going off to college, something I remember I was interested in when we talked before, clients' children are leaving to go to college. How do they want to view or modify their insurance portfolio based upon those family changes?
Another question I get a lot, as you can imagine. So the first thing I would recommend for folks is to notify your insurance agent.
Okay.
Really, with any changes to your insurance portfolio, it's always best to notify the carrier so they can note your files, right? Because at the end of the day, insurance is a contract between the insurance company and the insured, right? And you're transferring your risk in exchange for premium. And so the more information an insurance company has, the smoother a claim is going to be handled, is what I've found in my experience. And
No
so
surprises that way.
Right, no surprises. And if there's a change in your situation, just send them a note. You can send me a note and say, hey, my kid is going to college in a few months. What should I do? Right. And so the first number one is notify your agent. And then the next thing to mention is, as a brokerage firm, we have access to so many different companies. And all companies are going to handle different situations in their own method in a way that works for their underwriting and so on. So one thing that we typically see on auto policies is that when you have a student who is going away to college, there are a couple different discounts that can be added. One is called, it's interesting. One is called a distant student discount. And it's really neat because what that is for is it is essentially a way to tell the insurance company, hey, my kid is going away to college. They're not taking a car with them. They're going to come and visit. They're going to drive on holidays. They're going to drive in the summer, but they're not a regular daily driver anymore.
The risk has been reduced, and as a result of which the insurance company offers a discount because that person's not there to drive the vehicle on a regular basis. Thus, the frequency of risk, a potential risky outcome, is reduced.
Exactly. And I really appreciate that because, I think that makes a lot of sense overall, right? And it gives you the comfort of knowing they're still listed on the policy, they're a listed driver, but you're just not paying such of a substantial amount of premium for them. So if they're not, when you say my kid's going to college, there's a couple questions, right? One, are they taking a car or not? If they're not taking a car, the distant student discount will apply.
Okay.
And if they are taking a car, then we still need to note the files. And so most of our underwriters will say, what's the school? What's the garaging address? Which vehicle are they taking? Right? And so we say, okay, this, the Honda is going to Boston. It's still going to be registered. A lot of times if it's a temporary situation, you don't always have to change the registration, right? So it might still be registered in Washington and they're driving it over. They're not actually getting, let's say if they're going to college in Boston, they're not necessarily having to get a Massachusetts auto policy. You can still have it on your Washington policy, which typically keeps it more cost effective. Yeah. And then just list that vehicle at a different garaging address.
Interesting. Yeah, to your point on just information sharing, I don't think that's folks' initial inclination is to share more information with their insurance company. But now hearing you talk about that distant driver discount, I imagine that most families are probably walking right past this savings and not even taking advantage of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So super interesting.
Oh, and one more point there.
Yeah.
The good student discount, which most folks start receiving once their children are licensed, assuming they are getting a 3.0 GPA or higher. The insurance company typically will want documentation for that, but they're not going to continue to ask you and hound you for that. They just need it one time. They send them the most recent transcript, report card, and they will add that credit to the policy. Well, that still applies for college and for, med school, graduate school. Wow. That good student discount continues to apply. So in a way, you might have a significant savings when you have your child away at college without a vehicle and they get a good student discount because then they're getting both those discounts.
You could be raking in the savings.
Yeah, and you just, you gotta remind them that they need to keep their grades up.
Yeah, absolutely. More incentive.